unmute. The mics are now hot. So that being the case, we'll call this work session of the Montoursville Area School District Board of Directors to order on this Tuesday, October 24th, 2023. The time is 7:02 p.m. I'd invite those all present to rise with me and pledge the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Give me about 5 seconds.
Actually, I could have had the secretary call the roll first, but Madam Secretary, if you would call the roll.
Okay, Mr. Albert is absent this evening. Mr. Badger.
Here.
Dr. Beery is absent this evening. Mr. Hausnick.
Here.
Dr. Mathers is absent this evening. Mr. Schimmel.
Here.
Mr. Snell. Mr. Ulmer. And Mr. Young.
Then we'll move on to an item that is not on your agenda, but I put it on mine. That is to add, needed approval to add the supplemental agenda item to the agenda tonight, and that would be, I believe, under, Dan, we would put that under item number. We do that after. Transfer. Well, it doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't matter where. Where do you want to do that? Do that before the general items.
Sure.
All right, we're going to do that supplemental before number 3 general agendas. We'll put that as a 2.5.
Academics, you want to do a whole new, 2.5.
Okay, so 2.5 will be academics.
Academics. 2.51. Will be approval for, I can read it when we get there.
Yeah, and I've got it here too, Dan.
Okay.
All right.
Dan, is there copies of that, the supplemental back there?
No,
In the back,
Yeah.
no. Oh, thank you. Sebastian, that'll be is that the YouTube portion of this? I closed the window after it said we were good. We can minimize this. Oh, that's. You have a window there? Oh, she said we're good. It's good? Okay, all right. Okay, I assume any recognitions or presentations tonight, Dan? Okay, I'll move on now to the public comment section of the agenda. Oh, yeah, all right, that's sidetracked on the technical. All right, yeah, we need that motion to add the supplemental. Motion. Second. Okay, any particular questions on it'd be item 2.5 and then 2.5.1 is the Paulson issue. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let's have it. Okay, and 2.5 is added. No recognitions or presentations. Now we'll move to public comment section and yes.
solicitors waiting to be let in.
Whoa. That's
I really have nothing to say tonight, but I was looking through this paper and Dan Carmino, I see you recommend approval of everything. Is that the trend? Is that going to be the trend or
Jack?
huh?
Jack, hold on. For whatever reason, it said the webinar didn't start. So wait till we have a couple of electronic people to let in here. So I'm not sure why. Something like. Okay, all right, they're here and board, we the first portion of the meeting apparently won't be captured. What do you want to do? Do you want to back up, start over, or we have the record?
Start over from the motion to
Okay,
add the supplemental.
okay, then because the apparently wasn't recording, we'll accept the motion to approve that supplemental agenda. Motion. Second. Okay, any particular questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, and now we'll move on to the public comment.
Yeah, Dan, I just leafed through this and you approved everything. I mean, is that?
We
I mean, is,
we're not Q and A during public comment. Take the public's time.
what's
I
that now?
can talk to you after. I don't want to take the public's time.
All right, that's fine, whatever,
We'll do
whatever,
Q&A.
whatever, no big deal.
Yep.
I just noticed that and, I mean, sometimes controversy is good. And I'm not saying to create controversy, but I mean, controversy sometimes, settles some things in that. I'm not saying you're wrong or right or indifferent or whatever. I just noticed that. I mean, maybe these are all cut and dry on here and, that's the way it goes. Maybe it is, and I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, I don't see anything to disapprove anything. That's about it. I mean, it's the only thing I noticed.
If there's anybody else in the room that would like to speak to us, please come forward. Okay, seeing no one here, then online, our guest online, if you'd like to speak, raise your hand in the Zoom chat window and we'll let you speak to us. Okay, not seeing any hands raised there. We'll move on now to the agenda items, and the first item is an academic item 2.5, and it is for approvals for student, gives a student number to be expelled from the high school per the adjudication, and board has the confidential information, of course. So do we have a motion to approve that expulsion? Motion to approve. Any kind of technical questions of any nature? Obviously not regarding the matter, but okay. Hearing none, then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7. All right, move on to general agenda items. We have 3 items there, and that I think we can do them all together. But if you like them separated, we could do that too. So take a quick look at those. The use story agreement, the use of facilities approval, and then the MOU with the support staff. Good with doing all 3 in a block. We can approve 3.1, 3.2, and 3.3 together. Give you a second to ponder that. Y'all okay together with all that? Okay, I'll have a motion to approve all 3 items from agenda items 3.1, 2, and 3. Move to approval. We have a motion. Do we have a second? Okay, any particular questions on any of those items? Though? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, have it. All right, on to personnel. We've got 4.1 through 4.4. We've got the addition to support staff, and you see the scenario related to that is time as far as timing and wages. We have 4.2 for an extension on the leave of absence. And then we have addition to substitute teacher list of the certified and a non-certified guest teacher. And then changes to the coaching staff, 4 items there. So, I think we can do them together in a block if you'd like to, or take a peek at that. And although John, I think even as a volunteer, I think is he okay as a volunteer to vote for it or not? Or should he abstain, should he separate?
Probably should abstain from.
Yeah, even if not get paid,
Even in a volunteer.
it's cleaner to abstain. All right, so we'll separate 4.4. So we're looking at 4.1, 2, and 3 as a block. Are we all good with that? Move with that, take a motion to approve 4.12 and 3.
Motion.
We have a second, and any questions? Okay, hearing none, then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I have it. All right, on to 4.4 for the coaching staff. We have a motion to approve that coaching staff changes, additions. Motion. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Again, abstain. And we have one abstention and any noes? I didn't hear a no either, so okay, that's approved, one abstention. And no transportation items, and that moves us right to the second section of the public comment. And again, we invite all those in the public who would like to come forward and speak to us, please do. And seeing no one here in the room coming forward, again, we'll go online to see if there's someone online that would like to speak to us. Raise your Zoom hand. I don't know what that looks like, but all right, not seeing a hand being raised online, then we'll close the public comment section of the meeting and was ready for adjournment, but board, is there anything that for the good of the, perhaps in prep for the next meeting or something like that?
Yeah, I have a question for you, Dan. Do you have any plans on bringing back the Thanksgiving dinner for seniors?
And given it any thought, no.
I think it got stopped because of COVID.
Yeah.
And I really feel that we should bring that back for our seniors.
Do we have enough time to?
I don't believe there's enough time for this
No,
year.
probably not with nutrition
But-
group, but we can start
Right,
planning for.
for next year.
I'll throw one out there. How about in lieu of a Thanksgiving, since we can't pull it off, what about a late December Christmas dinner? Is it too much to try to swing?
We have,
I'll let you answer. I won't.
That would
be
tight.
we
Okay,
are. We have a lot going on right now with the audit in the office,
okay.
so I'm just gonna say like. It's going to be time consuming, so I'm not sure. And with all the Christmas
Yeah, yeah,
events,
yeah,
like,
that's-
I don't know if we'll have a date for the space, like, we really kind of. Need to plan it.
Gotcha.
6
Alright.
months in advance,
have all the basketball teams.
yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Possibly the concerts in December.
yeah, like.
Alright.
it's-
Well, plus it takes time to reach out to the businesses to get
Yeah,
contributions.
Okay,
you gotta start about 6 months out at least,
okay,
so.
all right.
Dave, I have a question on that, the LCTC board report you shared.
Yes,
In there it had enrollment, and have we had discussions about our enrollment this year in comparison to
it's,
past years?
it's trending upward. It started out at almost 350 kids, probably had a few more dropouts and not drop, I don't use that word. Those who decided not to go.
More specifically, in terms,
We're
we're
heading down a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in looking at it, I mean, Benton, the only one lower than us, 25.
Yeah.
You look at Loyalsock, they have 39 kids, we're 28. And of course, both Muncie and Hughesville, they're up in the 70s, 80s. I just wondered whether if that number is, if we're trending down, is there a reason why? Because I really thought we were putting more.
Well,
The building out there.
we have some
Okay.
offerings that interest the kids that maybe what's down there wouldn't interest them. And our student level is declining too, so you're gonna see that as well.
Then our ag program is filling a need there. That
Yeah, it has.
students using that, utilize that program are, I'm gonna say, getting a skill set to go out into the workforce. Again, I'm looking for that non-4-year college program. That's what I looked at the LCTC as.
Yeah, we have students that'll get their 2 hours out there. They might line up all 3. Not all, but some.
Yeah. But we're not missing any of the mechanics of the,
No.
Although there's a waiting list for some of the programs.
the plastics program.
Was it Lowestoft that just got back into it? What school was it?
Well, so in Benton more recently.
I thought Lowestoft.
Well, Lowestoft's been there for at least since I've been on, well, almost since I've been on the board, Dan. I've been going there for 4 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just before that Lowestoft. Benton was sending their kids, a bunch of their kids to Columbia, which one is it, Dan? Columbia Montour. They would lose their kids for the whole day. And they were paying twice what we pay to send a kid to the sea. And they were losing, almost a third of their high school body. It was going, and they realized, no, we can do the academics at Benton, and we're going to send them to CTC for the tech. So that's why they pulled out, to save some money, but also to give the kids, the academics that they wanted to manage, but also give them the tech that the kids wanted. So it's definitely a better deal for a small school like Benton to have done what they did, for sure.
I asked the question because I know that we're putting some emphasis on that. The LCTC program, the middle school, they get an introduction, right? Do we have someone from the,
They were going there for a day.
okay. I just didn't see us needing to do more. I didn't know whether it just was simply interest.
And we also tend to send maybe a little more proportion of kids to college than maybe some other schools. Is that fair to say, Dan? You might have a little higher
Yeah,
proportion.
it could, but it still doesn't line up with what the
Okay,
numbers that go there.
Okay.
We are reminded of it. We have one of the larger enrollments in sense. Students there.
I have a question, maybe you can answer, Dan. What are the benefits of sending them to LCTC for half days versus for full days like they used to do it? 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. What's the benefits on that?
The academics back here, they get their half day of academic.
Right, I realize that. I realize that. I'm saying, what's the benefit compared to the way it used to be, where it was 2 weeks at whack and 2 weeks at the school, 2 weeks at tech whack, 2 weeks at the school? What's the benefits?
I don't know if they're up there, how are they getting their math? I'm not
I don't think you're,
understanding your.
yeah, I don't think you're following me. Back, I know people don't like to hear me say this, but when I went to school, they had tech up at
Yep.
Williamsport Area Community College. We went 2 weeks up there. And then we was in the school here for 2 weeks. And then the following 2 weeks, we was
They half days or
full days. That's what I'm asking. What's the benefit? Because the reason why I'm asking that is because the travel time, they're losing on the travel.
No, they still get their 2 hours there. They have to get 2 hours to be
Yeah, I understand that, but they're losing educational time when they're in a bus traveling to and from. Well,
it's
actually from, because it's coming back to the school,
the scheduling would be,
depending on whether they're in the morning or afternoon.
I don't know how you would schedule that, because if they're in an algebra here. An
They'd have 2
algebra
week
2
blocks.
and an English 10. And a phys ed and a social studies.
They did it for years.
I don't. I'd have to see the schedule to see how they do it. I don't know.
Because
You
I
lose continuity of education. If they would come out of their class for 2 weeks and then drop back in. Were they the only ones in English class? Here,
yeah,
so they were together,
yes.
yeah,
The
and
ones that went to the tech were together in not all classes, because it all depends what your curriculum what you chose for your curriculum.
Yeah, they'd have to have their own English teacher, own math teacher. And then what do you do with that
But see,
teacher 2 weeks off?
well, not all of them would go the same 2 weeks. It alternated.
So they got academics up there too, Ron?
No,
No.
no,
It was all done here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a block scheduling. almost.
Yeah, it's what it would be. It would be 2 weeks, but the only way you could do it is if they were together. And you'd have grades 10 through 12. So I would imagine the academics probably would work better, because your math then would be focused more of a technical math than running them through an algebra 2 or trig or. It
Oh,
would be
yeah.
more practical.
most of it was business math.
Yeah, it would be more practical. 28 kids, yeah,
On the negative side, and this doesn't have anything to do with academics. Those kids were isolated. I mean, I was part of that time period, Ron. Didn't realize that until you started with reunions. And I would actually call some of these guys and say, hey, you coming? Oh, no, I don't really know anyone. Or is John coming? Because he's the only one I really knew. I think that there was an isolation that was maybe kind of.
Well, yeah, we was tech rats.
And whether there's a stigma attached to that, I don't know, but I think that way we're doing it now is better. They're a little more, I'll call it mainstream, that they become more a part of.
Well, the only reason why I brought it up is because of the lack of educational time when they're on a bus. I mean, that's a period.
it equates to, yeah.
Yeah,
So most, it would be an elective or a study hall, is what they're missing out on. They actually go partway through their lunch.
that's the only reason why I questioned it.
Okay, board, there's nothing else, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Yeah, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Meeting is adjourned.
Pass that down with John.
Ignore it.